A lot of people like there's an old way to do this and there's a new way to do this. What's the best way to negotiate multiple offers on my Carlsbad home? So if you met all the criteria earlier, right? The location, utility, price, and condition. If you met all of those criteria and everybody's excited about your home, you're going to get multiple offers on it. There's two ways we can negotiate this, and there's not a wrong way to do it. The easy way, we call this the lazy way, is that you can send one counter offer back to every offer and say, hey, guess what? We've got multiple offers. You owe me what's called a highest and best by Tuesday at 5 o'clock. And whoever the best offer is, they win, right? Good luck. See you Tuesday at 5. And that's it. Agent doesn't have to do anything. You don't have to do anything. We just sit there and wait. And whatever happens, happens. And you choose the best offer. In that instance, you don't have to choose the highest offer. Just because you said, give me your highest and best does not mean we are going to choose the highest and best offer. What we are saying is put your best foot forward, and we'll look at all the offers then, and we'll go from there. Can you negotiate an offer after you've asked for highest and best? You can. It doesn't mean they're going to negotiate it. They may say, hey, you told us our best. That's our best. Like it's a yes or no, right? That's one way to do it. Challenges of doing highest and best. Here they are. Number one, there may be people that are willing to pay more if they knew what the highest offer is. I can't tell you how many times we've done highest and best with like 3 to 10 offers, especially during the COVID years. And the agent calls and says, hey, what's the status? And we say, oh, the seller accepted one, just about an hour ago. We haven't called everybody yet. Oh, well, did we get accepted? No, you didn't get accepted. Well, who won? Well, we had an offer at 2.145 million, with it was so much money down and a closing date of this. And they're like, oh, my client would have paid more for that. They would have paid higher than that. If I only would have known there would have been an offer that high, we would have given you a better offer. And then they try to undo the whole thing. Let me resubmit. And some agents will say, sorry, it's too late. Listen, it's never too late. You should always remember this when selling your home. It's never too late to negotiate. It's never wrong to negotiate. We can always undo. We can't undo everything. But like just because we said that something is going to happen, things change. Now we need to be ethical. We need to be honest, right? That's really important. You'll never get me to, cut corners. No agent should ever cut corners. But at the end of the day, uh, you want to make sure you're signing the right offer for your home. Period. That's the most important thing. Okay. So that's one way to do it. Highest and best, it's due by this time, let the cards fall where they fall. The other offer is, and this is more labor intensive. A lot of agents don't like to do this, but it will do better than everybody else. And so what you're going to do is you're going to call every agent, and there is nothing, unless the seller tells me I cannot disclose what's on an offer. The strategy that I would recommend, I would say probably 9 times out of 10. There are some times when I would just do a flat out highest and best. Like if it's out of control and the home's like crazy, we're going to treat it like an auction. We're going to stop showings. It's highest and best by the state, and we're going to look at the top three and we're going to negotiate those. Let's say you've only got two. Maybe you've got three offers. I'm going to go to every single one of those clients and say, listen, Mr. and Mrs. Client, Mr. and Mrs. Buyer's agent, not my client. I have three offers right now. The highest one is at this price with these terms. They're going to counter as well. They know what your offer is. Why don't you go back to your client and talk about a strategy of where they want to end up, and then give me a counter by Tuesday at 1. Not a highest and best. Just give me a counter again. And if they're smart, which most agents are very smart, they're going to say, will you tell me what the other offers are at when we counter? Yeah, I'll do that. When you give me your counter and we go through round two, I'll tell you, hey, highest price is this, because my job at the end of the day is not to play fair. And I know this sounds weird. It's not to play fair. It is to put a deal together. It is to keep the deal together. But at the end of the day, I have a fiduciary to my client and nobody else. My client and nobody else. My job is to get them the most amount of money with the best terms with the right buyer and remove as much of the stress and pain as I can throughout this process. That's it. It's not to make sure the buyer gets the best deal. It's not to make sure that my favorite buyer gets the deal. It's not to make sure that, an agent that I know really well gets the deal because we have a personal relationship. My commitment to the deal is to protect the fiduciary of the client that I represent, just like the buyer's agent's deal is to protect the fiduciary of the clients that they represent. So I'm going to do everything that I can, not to just artificially drive the price up, but I want to make sure that I maximize every opportunity for my seller as possible and do it in the most ethical way as I can, and make sure at the end of the day we have a buyer that's happy with what they purchased and a seller which is happy with what they sold. Now, if I told you that almost no transaction in the past 5 years is smooth, that would be like an understatement. They are very stressful. Interest rates are high right now. Pricing is at like pricing, if you think about it, other than 2009, 10, 11, 12, is always at all-time highs. That's kind of how real estate works. But it is, it's a challenge right now. It really is. So we have to massage this and kind of navigate this with care and with empathy, understanding that people are a little frustrated right now, which I totally understand. But at the end of the day, my job with the seller is to get them the most amount of money with the right buyer with the right terms. It's not to be fair within the entire thing. And I say fair like from a socialist perspective of giving everybody an equal opportunity. If somebody's willing to pay more because they see more value in a home than maybe another buyer, like assuming they're the right buyer, like they're going to close, they're qualified. All I don't mean like they're a family of four and they fit the neighborhood. That's not what I mean by right buyer. I mean like they're qualified, the deal is stable, they really like the home. Like then we're going to go for it. And I owe that to the seller to treat it that way. We don't owe it to the seller to be very fair and give everybody, an equal chance at doing that. If there's an opportunity to pay for more, we should do that. I hope I'm explaining that the right way and not making it sound like um, the system is rigged, because it's not. Everybody has an equal opportunity, but sometimes just doing highest and best. There are people that would have paid more for the home had they have just known what that higher offer is for. And I can tell you, it's one of the most frustrating things in real estate when like you've got six other offers, you're submitting your offer and you have no idea like, am I number one or am I number five? Like, yeah, I've looked at the comps. I know what the home's worth, but there's only one for sale. This one's an amazing home. And it gets frustrating, right? I've been there and we're still there. There's deals that we're dealing with right now that we run into this. So it's a very common thing. So my suggestion to you as a seller would be to have your agent negotiate every deal one by one, because you're probably going to get the most amount of money. That way, it is a little bit more labor intensive. It can be a little bit more stressful, but in the end, you're going to find the right buyer at the right price. That